last week. But he did concede. For two guys, this is huge. He said it's going to be the biggest story nationally. This Bucs team understands that, and they are going into Foxborough not fully healthy. We saw Rob Gronkowski, one of the two guys this is a huge game for, take a really tough hit against the Rams. This is a banged-up team. We'll know more after today. Some of the injury issues, JPP, we don't know his status. Antonio Brown still on the COVID list. And, of course, there's been the situation at corner, which we believe is now going to be rectified by Richard Sherman. Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times is reporting just moments ago that as soon as he signs, he's expected to be here at practice today and is expected to play on Sunday in Foxborough. As for Tom Brady, well, look, yes, he'd like to take it to his old coach, but there's something nice he can do for his current coach. This is Tom Brady's day on Sunday, but it is Bruce Arians who will turn 69 on Sunday. Now to Mike Giardi in Foxborough.
Yeah, Sarah, the Patriots, they aren't wanting to talk about Tom Brady too much right now. They want to talk about themselves and how poorly they played Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. In fact, in talking to players yesterday during their off day, as I sort of made the rounds, no one really wanted to go into Brady. They just said, we have to look inward. We have to find the things that we're doing wrong and quickly correct them, because this season is already starting off on the wrong track at 1-2 with two games they felt like on the schedule were winnable in the Dolphins and, of course, the Saints last weekend. And then when you talk about the game with Tom Brady and the Bucs, the weapons that Tampa has means the point total is probably going to be high no matter what the Patriots do. So can their offense get into the high 20s? Right now, the answer would be no, because they're not protecting Mac Jones. He's been hit 28 times in the first 3 games this season. That is bottom 5 in the league, or top 5, whichever way you want to look at it. And I asked Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, how is he feeling about this? What's his concern level? And he said, look, I never want our quarterbacks to get hurt. There are plenty of things that go into this, but right now, clearly, the offensive line in particular, not playing well enough, Kay, to protect Mac Jones, a rookie quarterback with a running game that, by the way, was supposed to be good as well, was not in Week 3.
At least not in Week 3. They started the season pretty hot on the ground. Of course, the body language from the rookie quarterback, not great. Hopefully that improves in time for their Sunday night matchup, which I'll see you at, Mike Giardi. I will be there, and I will bring the Twizzlers. Yes. Thank you so much to Mike with the Patriots there, whilst covering the Buccaneers, the defending champs. It's a big one, and the hype, and we'll talk to you two later, the hype's just insane. It's gone through the roof. We've been pumping it up, and we're just days away. So 3 weeks in, who does this epic Buccaneers-Pats matchup mean more to? Tom Brady or Bill Belichick?
I think about Brady, and he was the 6th quarterback taken in the 2000 draft, and he remembers all those players, and it still affects him today, and it still drives him today. And I think about this man and never wanting to have anything but his own legacy be the determining factor of how things were left, and him having rewritten history so many times. And I don't like the way things ended for him in Foxborough. And I go back to that playoff game 2 years ago when he's going up against Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans, a team that was on a nice little run here. And Brady's last pass as a Patriot in Foxborough was this, a pick 6 to Logan Ryan, a former teammate, no less, who brought it in and basically ended Brady's time as a Patriot. It's such a weird ending for Brady. I thought for sure they would win this game, and then Brady might even catch some heat and go on and do something in Baltimore the following week, if that's where they were headed or whatever it was going to be. That's how to me, Brady wants to get that last word, and the stench of that season and that era and that time ending in Foxborough that way, I think it still sits with him. And he might look at it and watch the show, and Tom would say, are you kidding? I just won a Super Bowl last year.
I think you're right.
His last pass in Foxborough in front of those fans was a pick 6 to a team, the 2020 Titans or 2019 Titans, that did go to the AFC Championship game, but were not necessarily world beaters that year. It wasn't against Manning. It wasn't against Mahomes. It wasn't against one of the great defenses of all time. His final pass as a Patriot was a pick 6 against the Tennessee Titans in the rain on a Saturday night playoff game. It's weird. I think Brady wants to get a last laugh here. Brady wants to get a last feel, and Brady wants to get a last pass that he wants to look back on and say, that's how he did things.
Does it mean more to Tom?
I think it
does. It was supposed to be he waves as he walks off, winning the title game and the Super Bowl and all that. What you're talking about, like, let's not put too fine a point on it. There's massive egos are involved here. Like the Belichick ego, the Brady ego. Is Bill Belichick the greatest coach of all time? I mean, is he? Because he gets talked about. The greatest coach in team sports history. He's not getting compared to Don Shula anymore. He gets compared to John Wooden and Red Auerbach. Is he the greatest coach of all time, or is he a really good coach who found a Powerball ticket in the 6th round of the draft and rode that thing for 20 years? I don't know. We may go a step towards finding out in this game, because let's pull it up. Bill Belichick as a head coach without Tom Brady, number 12. With Tom Brady, 3,064 without, 62 and 74, sub 500. Without Tom Brady in New England, 26 and 30. You know, they lost that Mo Lewis game that Brady came in. They were 0-2 to start that season because they lost the week before without Tom Brady.
You into the third
then Brady comes in and they start winning. I just want to know, like, of course Belichick is a great football coach, but are we pumping the brakes on this greatness stuff because actually Brady is the greatest? Would Phil Jackson have taken some just random Hornets teams or Nuggets teams to the finals, or is because he always said Kobe and Jordan? I don't know. But I think Belichick wants this one bad. If you have enough ego to name your boat after how many championship rings you've won, which I respect, you got to beat this guy. If Tom Brady comes in and wins 41-10 and just waves and everybody worships him and Belichick's yesterday's news, I don't know. I think Belichick wants it bad, and all this fake modesty is BS. Huge ego, huge stakes.
Yeah, you guys make two great points, and it has me like pondering over here. But
it could be both.
I think it's got to be Belichick.
Okay.
I mean, for a couple reasons. I mean, this could be one of the only things he hangs his hat on this year for sure. And a team win, it would be just great for the team. I mean, maybe get some going. But you know, I just feel like when the Patriots beat him, and at the center field, Bill Belichick's like, yeah, I still know how to beat you, okay? Just know that, okay? I know how to do it. And so it's going to be the ultimate chess match, I feel like. And it's going to be fun to watch. But at the end of the day, like, Tom Brady's secured his legacy when he played New England for 34, 35 years, it seems like, and then went to a team the next year and wins a Super Bowl right away after being in one uniform for a long time. I mean, he secured his legacy, which to me is like, all right, well, we know the answer to this question. I mean, it was, you know, if he hadn't won a championship last year, we would have been like, okay, well, who needs who? Does Brady need Bill, or does Bill need Brady?
That question is done.
It's answered.
Damn right
it's answered. We just want a good game right now. We want to see Tom Brady play his last game in Foxborough and light it up.
Join me.
All right, I think I will.
Bill just wants to win.
But it does change. So, something that can happen in this game can change how we look at it. Like, you're talking about egos. We're talking about personally who wants it more, who is it more important to between Bill and Tom. But public perception is another little intriguing angle to this. Like, how we look at these guys will change. Like, Tom goes in and loses this game. We're not taking anything away from Tom. Bill loses this game. This is a 1-2 team that's going to miss the postseason potentially for 2 years in a row with Bill Belichick. So I think I just don't even know if Bill cares about public perception. You're talking about his ego, why he wants this win. Tom has come out time, I want to be talked about like one of the greats. I didn't get talked about like this. I didn't feel this way. I'm the best. But Bill's not. I've never heard. Does Bill even care? Does Bill care about what any of us think of Bill? Because that sort of does, I really do think, drive Tom Brady in a way. It drives 99.9% of people that way. I don't know what even motivates Bill to name his boat that. I think it's all for him. And I think he does want it for him. Public perception-wise, Bill needs this game.
There's a very loaded word that is one step above public perception, and it's legacy, and we talk about it all the time. You know, Belichick can be the monotone guy in the media. They bring him out before the Super Bowl a few years ago, and it's all the Super Bowl champs in these burgundy jackets, and he comes out with 2 fistful of rings and smiles and put them towards the camera. This is no shrinking violet as, oh, I'm just about ball. Like, he is very much a fan of himself. He just doesn't put it that way. And if he gets hammered this week, I think it'll be tough for him. I really do.
Peter,
I hear what you're saying. He respects history so much.
Yes.
His
place in it.
But I agree with you that I don't think he's a beat my chest, I'm the best coach ever. I think in his own confidence, he knows he's got the rings. And I don't know if he cares at all about, what we talk about, but the outside world and legacy. I do think he personally would love to beat Tom Brady.
Yeah. Both personally want to beat each other, probably equally competitive-wise. How does the Pats winning this one, what does it do for the gap as between like Bill and Tom and that? What does it do for that?
It's a nice win on the Belichick side of that chalkboard. If you put it up and you've got Brady wins and Belichick wins, this one counts. I think it would be a big deal.
I think it's like if he schemes them up like they did the Rams in that first Super Bowl, and Warner and Falk are just getting rocked, and it's so obviously
or the Rams' second Super Bowl with Goff and McVay when he just undresses them. If he does that to Brady,
I know that would be the one. Then we got a whole different ball game.
Now we got Richard Sherman.
I think it goes a little bit deeper than that, though.
What do you got?
I think if the Pats beat him, and but Tom Brady still lights it up, it's like, okay, whatever. But if the Pats beat them and Tom Brady throws 2-3 picks,
that's
then
massive.
as Belichick, I'm like, son, I know how to beat you, okay? I know how to beat you.
You're doing what Eli did the other night.
Will that silence doubters of Bill Belichick, or people who are making those?
I think it would be massive.
Yeah.
I think how this season how the Mac Jones phase plays out will say a lot about Belichick, because, damn, if he starts winning these, conference titles and things like that with this kid, that's massive.
More Good Morning Football up ahead. Let's talk Steelers. How should those fans be feeling what they saw in Week 3? Tough start. Should they be concerned? Very different experience for 2021 to 2020. Very different for the Steelers fan base.